Welcome to the You Are a Grown Up, You Can Do Whatever You Want podcast.
Where you can stop living for other people and start owning your own life and business. After all, you are a grown up. You can do whatever you want.
We are your hosts, Ben and Kirsten Tyrell. Hey everybody, welcome to You're a Grown Up, You Can Do Whatever You Want. Today we are going to talk about... What are we talking about today?
How cool it is to be a grown-up and do whatever you want, and how we're finally at a place where we feel like we can. Because, even though you quit your job 4 months ago, you still have an obligation to, provide for your family.
Yeah.
To, kind of keep up with, not keep up with everybody, but just you still need to prove something. You still feel like you're having to work for everybody else to show them that you're capable of doing whatever you want to do.
And it's just different type of work. I think I'm finally starting to get into the flow of things, because for a while there it kind of felt like, oh, well, I'm working, but I don't have to go to a job, and it kind of felt like I was on vacation for a long time.
The vacation's over.
Yeah. But now I think I'm starting to get used to it, but I am finding that it is the hardest thing for me. Okay, so I'm not a very social person in general, but I am kind of finding that I need that social interaction outside of the house.
So you're human.
Yeah. Darn it.
Darn it, I was hoping that I could lock you away in the office forever.
But
like Rumpelstiltskin to make us our $1 million.
But I feel like I'm actually have motivation to get involved in different things now.
Yeah.
That I haven't had.
Because it's a choice. You don't have to. You want to.
Yeah. And I have the time, and I'm because it's not like I'm at work all day long and then I come home and then I need to spend time with the family. It's kind of flip-flopped. I spend time at home all day long, and you probably want me out of the house. So
I have to admit, it was kind of freeing. Even though I wasn't home the whole first day that you were gone, it was just kind of we haven't really been away from each other for 4 months. I mean, it's great. I think we work well together, and it's great to be able to get along still in spite of being together all the time. But you needed to go be a grown-up by yourself, and I needed to be a grown-up by myself.
Well, and I think, too, so I'm working on these new projects outside of just our regular work.
Yeah, new inspiration
New inspiration, new connections, and it's you have to get out there and make those connections and find those experiences so that you can kind of put those in your back pocket for opportunities in the future. Yeah.
And we're all about online business and online connections, and a lot of my friends that I have nowadays are because of Periscope live streaming, but it still is great to connect with people in real life and have real conversations, and just to feel like you're part of a community, a real life community, not just playing Pokemon either, a real life conversation about something valuable, something you're passionate about, which I think is great because you're getting into more of the arts again. And that's something you haven't been able to do. Even living in Southern California, where there was a lot more opportunity for arts, we didn't do any of it. We didn't have time.
Yeah, we had no time. And it was part of my job anyway, so I was kind of
it wasn't as exciting.
I was burned out on it.
Yeah.
But, that's the thing is, I feel like the biggest thing with being an entrepreneur is that, sometimes the things that you have to do as an entrepreneur to make money, they're not that exciting.
No, they're actually pretty boring.
Those, what was it, yesterday and today, we were just kind of doing businessy stuff. Mm-hmm. Not yesterday, but end of last week, and then today, working more on the business side of things, getting things set up.
Yeah,
it's not very exciting. It's so boring. But, being able to then at the end of the day go do something that I'm passionate about and that I enjoy doing, and I feel like I can do that. Mm-hmm. I'm enjoying that a lot more.
Yeah.
And I don't feel, I think the biggest thing is when I had a 9-to-5 job, we could never really do anything that we wanted to do because there was always the obligation of having the responsibility of going to work.
Yeah.
I couldn't take
vacations. You never took vacation.
No.
There was always some reason you couldn't take your vacation, or you're always nervous to ask for it because your boss was weird. There was always reasons not to take breaks.
Yeah.
Or to always, you're such an obligated person, like you're so loyal that even though you have vacation time, you're like, I can't use it because there's stuff going on.
Or even when I did take vacation time or took sick days, you know, like if I was sick or if I, you know, like I was always on edge because I was waiting for something to happen where it was going to take me away from that free time. So, but now it's just like, just work throughout the day, you know, it's so much more flexibility.
Yeah. It's really, really freeing.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's not like a walk in the park. It's not like you just go for walks and eat bonbons all day and you're like, oh, look, I just made $1,000. You know, it's some days can be like that, but it's a ton of hard work that goes into it. And we're all about doing the hard work now so that it's passive later, which is really, really fun and exciting. Like to know that, you know, you have evenings free or you have afternoons if you need to go and do an event or you need to go, you know, help out with another company. You can do that because there's no limitations on your schedule and on the hours that you have in the day.
And, you know, it's like if something's not working, if you get kind of burned out on a project, you just move on to another one. You know, it's like...
Plus, I have to say, it's always a nice bonus. I think I'm used to it now, but it really fits with my personality to have you home. I don't like sharing. I'm really selfish. And today, Ben killed 2 cockroaches that I would have had to take care of if he were not home. And, like, I just can't even imagine. Do you remember seeing, like, Justin and Tara, who we're going to have on the podcast, how, like, they were always together and doing everything together. And, like, he had never really had a real job, like a 9-to-5 job. And I just remember being like, that would be so weird to actually make money, but just be together all the time. And now it's like, it's so fun.
Well, and we were together all the time before.
But it wasn't like we weren't being productive. It was like because we had nothing else to do.
We were trying, but, you know, we didn't really know what we were doing. So it's kind of like trying to figure out this new dynamic. It is a new dynamic. But,
yeah, because now we have more kids, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Who are very, very demanding of our time. But I think we're figuring it out. It ebbs and flows every day, every week. But it's just nice to have a motivation to really, like, you can choose. We get to choose how our day is going to go. Like, we were talking to the kids tonight. You know, we're going to start doing yoga in the mornings. I'm going to do yoga in the mornings with them. And we can just have a little more structure in their lives. And we can really choose however we want the day to go, however we want the week to go. It's not like, oh, but you have this work meeting. Oh, but you have this. Like, I'm sure there will always be things that come up as we run our businesses. But we have a ton of freedom. We really get to choose the energy in our home. We get to choose what is going on in our lives. And that's very, very powerful.
Yeah. Something that we've never had before at all. Even when we weren't working, we didn't have that freedom.
Yeah, because we were living with other people too.
Yeah.
So this is very different. And I'm actually learning to have a lot more gratitude for things. Like every day I've noticed now that the stress of moving is over, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this about my house. Or you know, when the kids drop something on the floor, I don't have to stress anymore about, oh my gosh, that's going to disrupt somebody. I'm like, nobody can hear anything that we do. We can jump up and down and scream and maybe somebody outside will hear us, but...
I don't know. Apparently nobody lives on our street.
Yeah,
so.
It's pretty desolate. You want some peace and quiet, come to our street. Which is a nice change because we used to live on the most crowded street ever in Southern California. It was so crazy. So, but I digress. Anyway, we just want to share with you guys how nice it is to even, like, we have by no means made it. We have not accomplished our big goal. We haven't, like, you know, we're still learning and it's still such a process. But just the freedom we already feel to know, like, hey, even if we don't necessarily know how we're going to make a $20,000 a month happen or a $200,000 a month happen, the fact that we can reach that high just from doing things that we love is huge.
Well, and we're all consistently or constantly working towards that too. Like everything that we do is towards that goal. And, you know, it's like we try things out. They may not work. We refocus and tweak and try again. And so it's just kind of a learning process. And the thing is like with being an entrepreneur, there's no school for being an entrepreneur.
We should make one.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the 8-week mindset makeover is kind of a good
start. You know,
because
it's such an individual and personal journey for each person, because really when you're an entrepreneur, ideally what you're doing is you're doing something that you feel connected to and that kind of fulfills you a little bit. But yeah, it's just kind of...
Entrepreneur is a big word. It can mean so many things. You can be running an MLM, you know, like you could have your own startup company. You could be doing something that's kind of already been done before, but putting your own spin on it. So there's just tons of, it means a lot.
Yeah.
So it's hard to like really put everybody into one box but we all can relate to the same things. So
yeah.
I think we're rambling now. We have a lot to say. We have a lot of feelings about this topic. So if you guys have not registered yet for the free 8-week millionaire mindset makeover, it's a lot of M's, go register now. And please take a couple minutes, leave us a rating and review on iTunes. If you have found any value whatsoever in any of our episodes, we would really appreciate it. It makes a difference for us. And we want more people to be able to have this information and have their mindset made over.
Yep.
So thanks for listening.
Go out there and take action and make things happen.
And be grown-ups.
Yeah.
Have a great day, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
This episode is brought to you by Passive Impact Academy. Visit passiveimpact.com to learn how to build freedom in your life and business through passive income. Start your journey to financial freedom at passiveimpact.com.
Thank you for listening to the You Are a Grown Up, You Can Do Whatever You Want podcast. For more information, visit us at youareagrownup.com.